Section 1. The Greatest Commandment, our North Star, Deuteronomy 6:4. A simple verse, yet profound in its implications. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. This is not just an assertion of God's existence. It's a call to a relationship, a singular personal connection with the divine. Like the North Star guiding sailors for centuries, this verse points us towards the one true compass for our lives, a direct, unmediated relationship with God. Our modern world thrives on outsourcing. We delegate tasks, rely on experts, and seek guidance from countless sources. But our spiritual lives cannot be outsourced. Just as a GPS can guide us to a destination, but cannot experience the journey for us. Relying on others for spiritual direction robs us of the richness of a personal connection with God. This isn't to say we embark on this journey alone. Mentors, pastors, and fellow believers can offer invaluable support and guidance. However, their role is to illuminate the path, not walk it for us. Ultimately, our relationship with God is deeply personal, a sacred space where we communicate, learn, and grow in ways unique to our own experiences and struggles. Section 2. Your Journey, Your Map. Imagine for a moment you're learning to play a musical instrument. You can spend hours watching virtuosos perform, marveling at their skill and passion. But true mastery comes from picking up the instrument yourself, practicing diligently, and discovering the nuances of each note through personal effort. Similarly, spiritual growth necessitates active participation, not passive observation. Depending on others for spiritual sustenance is akin to building your house on sand. It's an unstable foundation, vulnerable to the winds of change and the storms of life. When challenges arise, as they inevitably do, relying solely on another's faith leaves you ill-equipped to weather the storm. True faith isn't a spectator sport. It's a transformative journey of the heart. It's about wrestling with doubts, seeking answers, and nurturing a connection with God that's uniquely yours. This requires effort, discipline, and a willingness to step out of the comfortable shadows of others' beliefs and into the radiant light of a personal relationship with God. Section 3. The Crutch of Comparison. Social comparison is deeply ingrained in human nature. We constantly measure ourselves against others, often falling into the trap of envy or pride. In the realm of faith, this comparison can be especially detrimental. We might find ourselves envying the outward expressions of faith in others, mistaking their visible actions for true spiritual depth. This comparison game leads to a distorted view of our own spiritual journey. We begin to focus on external validation rather than internal transformation. Instead of nurturing our unique relationship with God, we strive to mirror the experiences of others, creating a pale imitation of genuine faith. Remember, faith is not a competition. It's a personal dialogue with the divine. Each of us has a unique story, a tapestry woven with joys, sorrows, and experiences that shape our understanding of God. Embracing this uniqueness, rather than striving for uniformity, allows us to experience the richness and depth of a truly authentic relationship with God. Section 4. The Empty Well of Imitation. Imagine trying to quench your thirst by watching others drink water. You might see the relief on their faces, hear their satisfied sighs, but your own thirst remains unquenched. Similarly, attempting to mimic the spiritual practices or beliefs of others, without genuine conviction, leaves us spiritually empty. True faith is not about conformity. It's about authenticity. It's about stripping away pretense and approaching God with open hearts and minds, seeking His guidance and wisdom in all aspects of our lives. This requires honesty, vulnerability, and a willingness to let go of preconceived notions and embrace the transformative power of God's love. When we rely solely on others for our spiritual understanding, we become like parrots, mimicking words without grasping their true meaning. This imitation might give the illusion of faith, but it lacks the depth and richness of a personal connection with God. Section 5. Seeking, not spectating. The journey of faith is not a passive pursuit. It's an active exploration. It's about asking difficult questions, grappling with doubts, and seeking answers through prayer, reflection, and studying the scriptures. Just as a scientist conducts experiments to test hypotheses, we too must engage in our own spiritual experiments, seeking evidence of God's presence in our lives. This active pursuit of faith requires courage. It challenges us to confront our own biases, preconceptions, and fears. Yet it's in these moments of vulnerability and honesty that we open ourselves to the transformative power of God's grace. Remember, faith is not about having all the answers. It's about seeking them with a sincere heart. It's about acknowledging our limitations and relying on God's wisdom and guidance to navigate the complexities of life. Section 6. The intimate conversation of faith. Imagine receiving a heartfelt letter from a loved one. You wouldn't ask someone else to read it for you and summarize its contents. You would cherish the opportunity to hear their voice, to experience the emotions conveyed through their words. Similarly, our relationship with God is a deeply personal correspondence, a sacred dialogue that unfolds through prayer, meditation, and the study of His Word. This conversation with God is not a one-time event. It's an ongoing exchange. It's about sharing our joys and sorrows, our hopes and fears, and seeking His guidance in all aspects of our lives. Just as any meaningful relationship requires effort and nurturing, so too does our connection with God. Deuteronomy 6:4 reminds us that our relationship with God is singular, unique, and paramount. It's a call to move beyond the comfort of borrowed faith and embrace the transformative power of a personal relationship with the divine.